What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, back with episode 123 or 4. Every week I forget. What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, back with episode 123 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off the best gaming setups. The intro kind of rhymed. Our special guest this week is going to be BrainBean, showing off his setup behind his YouTube channel. If you see anything you like in this episode, I will have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. Let's start off episode 123. First up is Mark with this gaming room. Possibly seems to be like in a basement setting, but either way, he's got his gaming setup off to the left side with an entertainment setup across the room. Let's take a look. So checking out his main desk setup, he is rocking 4 displays here. His main display in the middle is an Asus ROG PG27-9Q, very popular at 144 Hz. The side displays are both 1080p Samsung monitors coming in at 24 inches, and that top display is a 24-inch 4K panel from LG. Now, as for his peripherals, he has a Logitech G Pro keyboard. Did a review of this last year, it's awesome. Paired with the Logitech G502 mouse, my all-time favorite, on a SteelSeries Quick Plus mousepad, and for speakers, Logitech Z333. Then also for audio, if he wants to use his gaming headset, he's got the Astro A50s there right by his side. Then over to his PC, inside the NZXT S340 Elite case is an Intel i7 7700K CPU with a Corsair H100i V2 AIO, 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM, along with his MSI GTX 1080 Ti Armor graphics card here, completing the whole white and black kind of build aesthetic. So Mark's starting us off strong again with the 4 displays here. Always crazy when you have a gaming setup like this. Screen real estate for days, and unfortunately we don't have any pictures of his entertainment setup across the room, but either way, it's still pretty badass. Next up, we got Doobie Lane. That's my kind of road. Totally kidding, I don't smoke. But anyway, three displays here, 2 curved ultra wides on the bottom with an overhead 55-inch 4K TV. Again, lots of pixels here. Those bottom 2 ones, like I said, are from Samsung. They're 100 Hz, ultra wide, 3440 by 1440p with that 55-inch overhead, plus the RGB backlighting behind those displays to give everything some extra pop. As for his peripherals, got the Corsair Gaming K95 Platinum RGB keyboard, going along with his Corsair Glaive RGB mouse on a nice extended mouse pad, and obviously got the Elgato Stream Deck, big fan of that, along with his Behringer mixer. And also for audio, his speakers are the Audio Engine A5 Plus. They're mounted on stands right next to his overhead TV. But hold up, the real star of the show here is that custom water-cooled PC he's got going on. This thing is downright sexy. The case is from Case Labs. It's the SMA8. Inside is an Intel i7 7980XE CPU with 64 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator Platinum RAM on an Asus Prime Deluxe X299 motherboard. And for graphics, a GTX 1080 Ti, obviously water cooled, along with an Elgato HD60 capture card, but just a phenomenal job with the hardline cooling here. The white and red really pops in that loop. Really nice looking PC. Next up is Colin, and you gotta stop the show here. This is pretty crazy. Every few weeks we get a literal showstopper, and this one, when I first saw it, I was like, damn. And if you remember, we actually had him on a little over a year ago, and his setup has completely evolved. We need to check this out. First, take a look at this desk. It is completely custom made, and it's just unlike anything I've ever seen. The wood is polished off in this resin, and it has this kind of river in the middle, he calls it, which goes along perfectly with his wallpaper, which he has spanned across all 4 of the monitors. This is just gorgeous. Funny enough, it reminds me of these artisan keycaps I picked up, and fits here perfectly. And even though I could talk about this desk for hours, we gotta move on. For those displays, his center is an ultrawide from LG, the 34UM95. The 2 side monitors are 22-inch monitors from ViewSync with an overhead TV from Insignia coming in at 50 inches. As for the peripherals, he has the Corsair Gaming Strafe RGB keyboard with silent switches, along with the G502, yet again, fist pound, on an extended mouse pad from the glorious PC gaming race. And for some extra personalization, yes, in the background, got the little crystal Pokeball there, along with a little terrarium. Again, it all just fits in with the theme and really looks nice. And obviously nice is an extreme understatement. Rounding out his peripherals, under his desk he has mounted his Audio-Technica M50X headphones for his audio gear. And then speaking of which, while we're under there, take a look at this cable management. Literally flawless. Not a cable in sight, and that just explains this setup. Flawless. Then over to his PC, which is his NZXT S340 case, which is also wrapped in a wooden vinyl to fit his entire setup, is an Intel i7 6700K CPU with an NZXT Kraken X62 AIO, 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance LPX RAM, and an Asus GTX 1070 Strix OC graphics card. Got this kind of blue theme going on inside to enhance the river, you know? And then again in the room, got some Pokemon Lego figures, pop figures, more kind of air plants and succulents going around this shelf. It's just things like this that tie it all together and look amazing. So Colin, I can confess my love to you, so can the rest of all these viewers, because your setup is flawless. It's amazing. I love it. It's amazing. And I love it even some more.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is BrainBean. First of all, I want to give a huge thank you to randomfrankp for having me on this episode of Room Tour Project. You know, when it comes to PC setups, a lot of times it can go any number of ways, and it really just boils down to getting a setup that suits your needs the best. In my case, I wanted a setup that would function both as a gaming battle station, but also a productive place for me to work on my YouTube videos. I think I found a pretty good mix of that, and as a tech reviewer myself, I feel like my setup is constantly evolving and changing, but for now, I've got it at a place that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm excited to show it to you, so let's just take a look. I'm going to start things off a little bit unconventionally by starting with what's going on behind the setup. On the wall, I have some purple and charcoal acoustic foam, which helps me cut down on reverberation when doing voiceovers, and it ties in with my channel's color scheme. I also have a pair of JBL 305 studio monitors mounted up here as well, which is great because it frees up that much more desk space. For my peripherals, I'm using a Corsair K95 Platinum with Corsair's white PBT keycap set, and a Razer Death Adder mouse and Firefly mousepad. The K95 Platinum just checks all the boxes for what I want in a keyboard, and the Death Adder has been my favorite mouse for years. I just love the shape and the way that it feels in my hand. As for the headphones, I have a pair of white Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs, which are running to my Focusrite 2i2 interface that I keep mounted under my desk. For my displays, I'm using the Alienware AW3418DW. It's a 34-inch curved ultra-wide, which in my opinion is best in class at the moment. For me, it's got everything that I want in a monitor. It's an IPS panel for those nice accurate colors when video editing. It's a 3440 by 1440 for all the screen real estate, which is great for both games and editing. It's got a 100 Hz native refresh rate, which is overclockable to 120 Hz, and it has G-Sync. Off to my left, I have my secondary monitor, which is a Pixio New PX277, which is a pretty good little budget 27-inch IPS 1440p monitor, and it does have 144 Hz refresh rate and FreeSync. For my PC, I'm using a custom Overwatch-themed Soldier 76 rig that I made on my channel. It features an illuminated 76 logo, a 3D printed Soldier 76 mask on the reservoir, and all of the colors and styles of components were chosen to mimic the palette of the character. I chose the red coolant in the loop to mimic the red tubing on his rifle, and I tried to keep the ratio of red, white, and blue in the paint to match his costume as well. As for the specs, it has an i7 7700K processor, 16 gigs Corsair Vengeance RGB memory, a Gigabyte G1 GTX 1080, and all of that is sitting on a Gigabyte Aorus Z270X Gaming 5 motherboard. You know, building your own PC already kind of gives you a little bit more connection to it because it's something that you created with your own two hands. But if you haven't tried modding a PC like this and really painting it and creating things to make it completely one of a kind and personalized to you, I highly recommend you give it a go because it's a way to really make it your own and create a little bit more personality in your setup. Well, that's it for my setup, guys. As a longtime viewer of Room Tour Project, it's been really cool to have the opportunity to cut together a segment and be on an episode. So I want to give randomfrankp another big thank you for having me on. And if you guys enjoyed what you saw or you want to just check out what my content is all about, I look forward to seeing you and interacting with you over on my channel. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just turn it back over to your fearless leader. Back to you, Frank.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 123 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed. Shout out to BrainBean again for having it set up on this episode. I will have his channel, as well as all the gear, products, all that stuff you saw in this episode listed in the description down below so you can check it out, as well as some very simple instructions on how to submit your setup if you want to be possibly considered to be on a future episode of Room Tour Project. So if you think your setup is better than the ones you showed off today, definitely submit. If you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. At last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.
Random Squad, it's time. The road to 1 million has begun. Gather around. Take this channel to the next level.